Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our next MetaHeritage webinar in our series to present to you different business support networks that we have across Europe. And today we're looking at the EIT Culture and Creativity, which is a key actor for you if you're working in the culture and tourism, creative industries sector. And we are happy to have with us the regional hub directors from the different countries in Europe. So very, very happy, and thank you very much for Fabio, who is here with us, who co-organized this webinar to present to you the EIT Culture and Creativity and all the opportunities that it holds for SMEs. My name is Nina Hoppmann. I'm project manager at the European Clusters Alliance, one of the project partners in the MetaHeritage project, and I'm going to guide you through the session this morning. And of course, if you have any questions, I will try to address them and guide them to our speakers today. Let's have a look at the agenda. So we are going to have a general introduction to the EIT Culture and Creativity, and then we're going to visit different regional hubs. We're going to Southwest, to South, and to Southeast Alps to understand what is actually happening on the grounds, what are the activities that are being proposed for the SMEs and where you can participate. So very happy to have with us Fabio Palma, Angelica Monaco, and Alexander Diesel-Reiter with us. So thanks very much to you. Natalie was supposed to also be here, the Chief of Outreach and Marketing Officer, but however, if she cannot make it in time right now, then Fabio will take over the general introduction. And as for the housekeeping rules, please note that this webinar is being recorded for playback, so you can visit the recording also afterwards and come back to any questions that you might have. Feel free to use the chat to introduce yourself, tell us where you're coming from, and to raise your hand if you want to ask any question in person, and of course, add your comments as well in the chat. And just as to introduce the topic, I also want to use a quick Slido poll. So if you want to join at slido.com or use your phone to scan the QR code, I just have a question for you. So just scan the QR code or go to slido.com and put in the hashtag EITCC, and then you will get to the question. And to kick off this webinar, we just wanted to make a quick where are we? So our question to you is, how familiar are you with the EIT Culture and Creativity? So is this your first introduction? Have you already heard about it? Have you attended an EIT event maybe before, or any even applied to an opportunity, or are you already involved? So then you have already a good level of knowledge. But I see that for most of you who have started voting, this is your first introduction. So, and several of you, 1/3, has already heard about it, but here we are today to give you more information about the concrete opportunities and to understand what the EIT Culture and Creativity is doing and what opportunities it can provide for you. Great. I will just give it one more second in case anybody else wants to vote. If not, we see that, yeah, I think we have a good basis for a general introduction and also for concrete opportunities. As for most of our participants, it's the first introduction or they've just heard about it. So I will hand over to Fabio so that you can give us a general introduction about the EIT. Culture and Creativity, and tell us, for the people who have the first contact with the organization today, what it's all about. So thank you for being with us.
Thanks a lot, Nina. A warm welcome, never better said warm, from a very quite hot Barcelona. Good morning to everybody. Thanks a lot to have joined us in this webinar, and also to MetaHeritage Project to have given us the opportunity to be with you and to share some information about IT, culture, and creativity, and some special and more detailed information about calls, activities, opportunities that we have at regional hub level. I am Fabio Palma. I am the regional hub director for Southwest. That means Spain, Portugal, and south of France. With me today, there are Alexander Diaz and Reiter. More or less, I pronounce it quite well, not bad. From CLC Southeast and Alps, and Angelica Monaco, director of South EIT Culture and Creativity Regional Hub South. That means Italy, Balkans, part of Balkans, Greece, Turkey, and other countries. She will explain a bit more. And Alexander, Regional Hub, she's the is representing here the Southeast, covering Austria, Southeast and Alps, Austria, Switzerland, part of Balkans, and other countries. He will explain a bit more. So I will share a presentation. It's quite long, but I will try to be very short, because we would prefer to be open to your question and to have more an interaction. And anyway, we will put to our disposal the PowerPoint presentation, so you will have the full presentation there. I am sharing my screen. I am doing a general introduction on behalf of Natalie Lethbridge, that is our Chief for Outreach and Marketing Officer. She's in Cannes in this moment. So she didn't succeed in stay with us today, but I am really happy to do the intro here. Okay, I suppose you can may you see my screen, Nina?
Yes, just put it in presentation mode, and then we have the full picture.
May you see it?
There you go. Perfect.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. So we are EIT, Culture and Creativity. EIT is, as you probably know, we are an European institutional partnership, part of EIT, European Institute of Innovation and Technology. It's an official body of European Union that was born in 2011, so 15 years ago, to fully dedicate to competitiveness, resilience, sustainability of high strategical sector in Europe, like energy, climate, food, health, raw materials. And 2 years ago, European Union understood that culture and creativity, industry and sector, are also very strategic, extremely important for the growth, the resilience, the sovereignty of European Union. And that's why we are here, exactly to foster the creative sectors and help European cultures and creative industry to be more sustainable, more resilient, and more competitive. I will go a bit faster on front point, but this is very important to understand what we stand for. As you know, there are more than 2 million of companies, organization, foundation, generally speaking, organization dedicated to culture and creativity in Europe. That means more or less more than 6% of the EU general business on creativity on a general level. So it's a very important weight, is very important dimension, but it's important to notice that there are, we calculate that we can count about 8 million workers for 2 million of enterprises. So this reveals the main question or issue that we have, or pain point in our area, that there are several companies but very small size. So this is one of the needs, one of the main question that we try to tackle, because the dimension are small. So this kind of company, this kind of organization, and I am sure that most of your organization, the SMEs and the other organizations that are part of MetaHeritage, are more or less in this kind of frame. So I was saying before, we are part of a biggest family, of a bigger family of different KICs, knowledge innovation communities. We are 10. There is one new one that came in the family just last year, dedicated to water. But this is our family of different KICs. We work, as most of your organization and as also MetaHeritage project does, to the connection, to the meeting point of companies, meaning business, university, education, schools, public institution, and research center, to try to to determine a long-term collaboration to make the impact bigger and with more weight, especially because the most important focus that we have to spread and to work on our value proposition is exactly on the overlapping of the four big areas of companies, public sector, research center, and university. Among our value proposition, what I would like to highlight that our main mission is to open the access to market, to SMEs, to organization, to help, not just giving, because our calls, of course, are public calls, so they are open. You don't need to be part of our ecosystem to access the fund that we put in at your disposal. But what we also do is that we are working to different ecosystem, like as the ecosystem of investor, to connect investor, public, private, and mixed investor to the SMEs and the organization that need this investment, are part of the calls that we are deploying. To give a very general overview of our distribution in Europe, we are organizing in 6 regional hubs. That's why I am based in Southwest, Angelica in South, Alexander in Southeast and Alps. But we have also the East office with base in Košice, the North office, regional hub with base in Helsinki, the Northwest office, regional hub with base in Amsterdam, and the headquarters in Cologne. When we say that we work at cultural and creative industry and sectors, of course, our approach is cross-cutting to all the sector. But in terms of priority, in terms of sector that we are more focused on, there are fashion, architecture, cultural heritage that I know that is extremely important for you at MetaHeritage, audiovisual as well somehow, and gaming. Just to give you an example, what we mean for supporting this kind of sectors. To be clear with an example, we do not support the development of contents, for example, but what we do in case of a cultural heritage, for example, we really focus on helping or support the innovation in this kind of sector. So digitalization for presentation, cultural data platform, blockchain for right, participatory platform, and this kind of innovation that are useful not just or not only for the company that is proposing that, but generally speaking for the entire sector. And the same for the other one, for architecture, fashion. We can come back later to that. Our community is a growing community, a community made by different level of partnerships. We have core partners, cooperation partner, community participant. If you want to learn a bit more, we can give that in more in detail. And we have a lot of associates that we really invite all of you just to join our digital hub. It's totally free, and to become one of our associate member, to be aware of our news, of our calls, of all our events, all the activity that we develop. Just to go a bit in detail about Southwest. In Southwest, the number, we have 2 Southwest core partner, 4 cooperation partner, 5 community participants, and more than 300 associates. This is the overview, the picture of all our core partner. And then, Nina, I would like just to go to the southwest, let me know if you prefer that I stop and pass the word to my colleagues and then I come back to southwest. Let me know. I try to be very generally, very short, but maybe I've been too general.
No, I think it was a very good introduction to give an overview of what is the EIT culture and creativity, to understand the organization and its the organization itself and how it works. We have invited you since MetaHeritage is covering also different regions as an I3 project. So,
Yes.
of course, Spain, Portugal, Italy, Austria, Germany, those are all part of these countries are also the regions that are involved in MetaHeritage, which is why we have a particular focus, of course, on the regional hubs that are present today. And it's great if we can have this picture now of what are the regional hubs actually doing. So feel free to continue with the activities from the Southwest Hub.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you very much. So I go on. So in a in a nutshell, what we do, generally speaking, at IT, culture and creativity, and at regional hub level, we organize and spread calls. You will find in our website the detailed calendar, the detailed agenda of the releasing of the dropping of the calls. For the time being, say today we have online, so we have published calls for the area of transformation and more specifically on New European Bauhaus area. We'll explain a bit more on that. But in a couple of weeks, we will have calls in innovation, business creation, and education. Those four global programs are the program where we work in all Europe and where we spread and we organize and deploy calls that are basically grants. Some of them 100%, some of them a bit less, but I mean with a high rate of granting, dedicated to support the growing of innovation in different scales, in different areas. For example, of course, talking about education, we have education program and education calls dedicated that invite the creation of consortia among universities and schools, but also and especially other organizations, and including individual experts, to propose to us some new trainings, some education experiences, being them qualified, official, like a master course, PhD modules, or also very open hybrid format courses and training experience that we can fully support and help you to develop. In terms of business creation, it's a program dedicated to very early development stage of startup. They have a very basic idea or more developed idea that need acceleration or post-acceleration. They are imminent, so a couple of weeks we will spread this kind of calls. Innovation are more dedicated to launch to the market new products and services coming from individual companies that are already settled since 2 or 3 years in the market, or from consortia being made by different companies, organization, research center from different European countries. And transformation is a overall cross-cutting area, focus on that kind of innovation that can help, can have a bigger impact at social and environmental level in all Europe. And also inside the transformation area, we deploy the new European Bauhaus calls. So the European Bauhaus is an initiative started 5 years ago by Ursula von der Leyen herself, that now are deploying calls related for the time being on education, but also of business creation, and we are deploying part of these calls. I know that sounds very complex because it's like a big matryoshka with a lot of smallest matryoshkas inside, but it's just to give you an idea. The message is we are dropping out calls from today to the next 2-3 weeks. Please pay attention to our website, and please, you are really kindly invited to apply and especially to follow the specific webinar that we are deploying, we are developing in the next days and weeks. Very few about the calls that are in place are calls that I was saying on transformation area. One is dedicated to fashion, so I don't know if it is quite relevant for you, but it's to support collaboration on circular and regenerative solution to really change the fashion value chain. There are some here, all the details, just to give you an idea, because it's important to understand the volume we work in terms of money. We are going to funding 5 projects with up to $500,000 each. So we are starting to work with volume of money that are quite interesting, especially for that kind of initiatives that need a boost at the beginning or a kickoff to develop, to accelerate their idea. This is skill infrastructure could be quite interesting for you, the organization that are part of the webinar, because they are supporting the creation and launching of lifelong learning programs for live environments. So tourism, cultural heritage can perfectly be part of this kind of program, of a kind of calls. And in a we have here the QR code to participate in the webinar of the fashion shift and the webinar of the skill infrastructure. And pay attention that in September we are going to launch a new strand of transformation lab calls dedicated to ecosystem transformation. That means that we are inviting companies, local institutions and research center to present joint proposal with a higher local impact. So I think that is quite interesting for you that are working at this intersection of local territorial impact and business creation, dedicated to cultural and tourism innovation, of course. Going to our ecosystem, this is the picture of the Southwest ecosystem with our core partner, cooperation partner. I'm sure that you from Portugal, Spain know some of them. More than our vision, I would I will stress that we are focused on flagship projects for the future, past key events that we really invite you to join, and of course, to spread calls and other funding opportunity. About flagship projects, the most relevant that we are working on for you in the region of Southwest, the action that we are working in Spain with the Spanish Ministry of Science, Innovation and University, and with their network called Red Impulso. That is a network of cities fully dedicated to innovation, and most of them are small or medium or large cities fully dedicated to promote innovation, especially in cultural area, and tourism is absolutely an asset for them. So we are working on this project, and there is a special horizon framework we are involved in. That is these are the events you can have a look later on, and then go back to me. I would like just to finish my presentation, not to stall a lot of time to my colleagues. EIT Culture and Creativity Southwest is participating in a Horizon project. We can do that. So it's some of the things that we can do as regional hub. We are companies basically, so we can participate in Horizon and other framework. Of course, we have to filter the proposal, but we are open to be invited. We are open to listen to proposal in this sense. But just to give you an example, what we are exactly doing now. The Infinity Project is a project that is absolutely relevant for you that work at MetaHeritage, because it's a sister project of a global infrastructure called ECOS, that is European Cultural Cloud Cultural Heritage Organizations, that is made by 13 projects now that will become 28 in a couple of years, fully dedicated basically to digitalize the European cultural heritage with different tools, with different action, with different projects. So each project is contributing to a part of this overall mission, and especially Infinity is a project that started this January, is going to June of 2029, is a consortium made by 15 partners coming from all over Europe. We are the only one from Southwest. There are universities, research center, companies as well. And what we stay for. The Infinity is the main goal is to work to digital objects for cultural heritage. What does it mean? It means that we not just study the impact of digital objects on cultural heritage, but also the journey that a digital object has to do to become a real business. And what is the impact, for example, on intellectual property, on copyright? And the most important things is that the project Infinity itself, apart of providing information that are very relevant for all of you that are working on intersection of tourism and cultural heritage, but we are providing also grants that can be started, that will start next year. That a small medium grant that organization like you, the individual SMEs, but also MetaHeritage as a whole can apply to do so. It's absolutely innovative, because what you can we are giving grants to invite organization to use freely the tools, digital tools that we are developing, some of them made by artificial intelligence, but not all of them, and deploying that to your business and giving us feedback to understand if they've been working, how we can improve, and it's absolutely a win-win activity that allow at some time to develop your business and allow the project itself, Infinity, to start to test in the real environment the proposed tools. Just to give you an example, we are working to different showcases. One of them is to digitalize old maps at different level to help urban planning. One of the showcases projects is working to very old music manuscript that they have never seen the real life, to transform them to digitalize them and to apply to deploy them for the first time. So please, I invite you to get into the website, to contact us if you are interested in that. But it's just an example of what we do at regional level to apply the general mission, to deploy the general mission of EIT Culture and Creativity. Thank you very much, and sorry to have been so long, but I think it has been quite interesting for you. I really hope so. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fabio, for this great overview. Just as a recap, so this project Infinity will have different opportunities as well for the SMEs, correct? So from now, the second half of 26, but also 27, where you will have the grants. And this, could you maybe please put in the chat the link to a website where the people can find more information about that project? I think that would be very helpful.
I will put in the website while the rest of colleagues are talking, the link of the Infinity, and of course the link of our website and the link to our digital hub to be updated about our calls, about our news.
Great. Are there any questions for Fabio? Anything
Please.
that you would like to ask after this run through of the general presentation, but also of the activities of the Regional Hub Southwest? So if so, please put that in the chat. We will keep an eye out, and we can ask the questions
Alex,
to
thank
Fabio.
you very much for the help. You have the web is everything there. Fantastic. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Great. Then we will move along the regional hubs, and we'll give the word to Angelica. Are you with us? I think I've seen you. Yes, please feel free to unmute yourself so that we can hear you as well. And thanks for being with us.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. And thanks for connecting.
I try to share my screen. Okay, and can you see my presentation?
Yes, just in full screen mode. Perfect.
Okay, so hello everyone. I'm Angelica Monaco, and I'm the director of the Regional Hub South. And we, as in many other regional hubs, are 3 people that develops the activity related to the ecosystem development. And for the time being, we are 2 people, myself and Elisa, and we are looking for a new business development manager, and the vacancy is online. So please have a look at it in case you are interested, to join us and to join our team. The Regional Hub South is based in Bologna as a main office, and we cover Italy, Greece, Turkey, Albania, Malta, and Cyprus. But we also have another office in Malta. We have there an office with a person that is deployed together with a partner of ours that is Scienza Malta. Scienza Malta is a governmental organization dealing with innovation, and we have established a collaboration with them, and so we can benefit from a space there, office, and also spaces for event. While in Bologna, we are hosted by a core partner, one of the founder of the EIT Culture and Creativity, that is Arter. And Arter is the agency of the Emilia-Romagna government dealing with innovation and talent and investment attractiveness of the territory. In terms of partners, we have 6 core partners, and as I said, Arter, the University of Bologna, Matera Hub, ETT is, I call it ETT, but depending, on which language you use, but ETT is a big company dealing with digital products for cultural heritage and the culture sector in general. The University of Chieti and Pescara, and the Polytechnic of Milan. Then we have, and so the core partners are mainly Italians for the time being. Then we have 4 cooperation partners. 2 of them are in Turkey. One is DGH. DGH is a spin-off of Bilizim Vadisi. Bilizim Vadisi is a big technological park funded by the Turkish government that has different headquarters, different offices around Turkey. And Mezzo Group. Mezzo Group is small and medium enterprises, and is the organization that is organizing the digital art festival in Istanbul, and also expert in artificial intelligence. Then we have Fitzcarraldo. Fitzcarraldo is an Italian foundation dealing with different type of activities such as training, but also research, especially in policies dedicated to culture and creativity. And finally, Art Council in Malta. And Art Council is an institution of the Maltese government supporting the culture and creative sector in Malta with programs and funds. And we have 9 community participants, also different type. I mean, it was to mention the Conservatorio Santa Cecilia in Rome, or Open Event, that is quite a big company dealing with regeneration of urban spaces. I'm mentioning this just to give you an idea of what type of partnership we have. And yes, as priority areas, of course, we try to cover all the 5 priority areas in which the KIC is working, but we have identified fashion, cultural heritage, gaming and audiovisual as the main one. I cannot, okay. No, sorry. I cannot understand what's happening. Sorry.
Maybe you can just move back on the key.
Yes, wait a moment, because I do not have the arrows that doesn't work, so I'm using the mouse.
No problem.
Yeah, so we in terms of services and supports are aligned with the other regional hubs, and we aim to facilitate, of course, networking, the connection for the participation in European programs, but also support the partners in being more effective in the participation of our programs and also in ecosystem services. In terms of flagship, well, actually, we do not have specific flagship, but we are working on projects that are related as well as the other regional hubs to artificial intelligence. One of our core partner, as I mentioned before, that is Arter, is also, is working with us in developing an initiative related to artificial intelligence and culture, together also with other center with AI computing. This is a project that we tried to implement within an Horizon Europe program projects, and we are now, which didn't succeed, but we are now trying to reshuffle and to see if we can have some more possibility. And I'm mentioning this because this is also a way to show you how we try to facilitate connections among our partners and other part of the ecosystem in order to implement projects and ideas that are related to EIT culture and creativity beyond the calls that we are publishing. What do we do? I have here some information regarding our latest activities. So we organize own events that are aiming to facilitate the networking, but also we participate in events organized by our partners or other stakeholders. And in the next months, we are having obviously partner meetings, but we are having also our regional Hub South Open Day that will be in Matera at the end of November, but also we are trying to engage with the industrial players and, for instance, the Audiovisual Producer Association, and also the MIA, that is the international market of audiovisual that will be held in Italy in October. And so we are here trying to build a collaboration or a participation of EIT culture and creativity during the international AVU market. And we also we support the startups, as Fabio mentioned in his presentation. So one of our main tasks is to support the implementation of our programs, so business creation, innovation, and education. But also as a regional hub, we act as a not only a contact point, but a networking point. And for instance, in our office in Malta, we have organized a meeting with Podego, that is a startup based in the Netherlands, with one of the startups in the 100 to watch, that is this program gathering the most promising startups that we fund, and we connect them with MetaHeritage, that is the main institution in Malta dealing with all cultural heritage and UNESCO sites in Malta, and especially with the head of the digital department, which is here in the picture, to try to support Podego to develop commercial relationship with them. And here I would like to show a small video which is representing and is showing our location in Bologna, and also what we did in September last year in terms of supporting, the implementation of the programs, as we hosted that kickoff meeting of the acceleration and scale up program for the pillar business creation.
Angelica, the sound is not sharing, so just stop. Yeah, so you need to include the sound in the sharing. So stop sharing and then reshare and just click the button and include the sound.
The sound, sorry, let me.
No problem.
It seems that to me is working.
Yeah, you will hear it. However, we don't. So just stop sharing your screen for a second.
Yeah, I stop sharing, yes.
Okay, now click again on share, but before you select the window, at the top there is an option to include the sound. So just tick that before you share.
Let me, before I share.
Yeah, before you share, stop sharing.
Yeah, stop sharing. So how can I share the sound?
Now click on share. But before you select the window on the top, you need to click the option
sound.
include sound.
I saw it. Okay,
Excellent.
great. Now I share. Let me try again. Okay.
Thank you.
And yeah, so I took the opportunity to show you us in action.
Thank
and
you.
This
nice
is something
picture.
that we all do, all the regional hubs do. So I think I'm finished. Thank you.
Great. So anybody who's who needs connections, especially to cultural heritage in Italy, reach out to Angelica, and then you can probably explore how the EIT Culture and Creativity can support you in your activities. And last but not least, we have Alexander with us to share with us activities and give examples of what the Southeast and Alps Regional Hub is doing. So Alexander, thanks for being with us as well. And the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. So good morning, everyone. My name is Alexander Diesenreiter. I'm business developer at the Regional Hub Southeast and Alps. We are based in the beautiful Vienna, more concretely in the Museums Quarter. You might know we have our direct neighbors ICOM and also Design Forum Austria, Center of Architecture here. So we are embedded in a quite vibrant ecosystem in the heart of Vienna. And our region is quite quite an interesting one because they're from the Western Balkans to quite economically strong areas like Bavaria or Baden-Württemberg. We have a quite diverse region. Here are our partners that we have in the ecosystem, and I think in your consortium, it's a Time Machine organization, and as part of the ICE Germany consortium, there's also TU Dresden involved, so we have some partners in common. Our partners in general are mainly universities, research institutions, and business support organizations like Kreativwirtschaft Austria, which is part of the Chamber of Commerce, or Köln Business, but also some cultural institutions like KMK Senat in Montenegro. And yeah, we are hardly working on it to expand our ecosystem to all our sectors. So here that you get a small glimpse of what we did and where we are active in the last weeks. We participated at like policy events like the EU Opportunity Week, but also at the Creative Business Week and a startup festival in Vienna, the Vienna Up, where we had our own festival where we were had a focus on materials and textiles. We participated at the Gate Festival at Stuttgart, which was hosted by the Media Solutions Center Baden-Württemberg. And just last week, was for me one of the most exciting events, was the Ministerial Forum on Creative Economy in Herceg-Novi. This was hosted by the British Council and was part of the Berlin process. And all 6 Western Balkan countries were there, like the cultural ministers, and we were working on a recommendation paper for them, how they can strengthen the creative economy in this field. And we had a quite active part there. So some upcoming events. So if you're in Cologne, we have an info session about the current opportunities on the 14th of July. If you're in media, we have the Salzburg Media Summit that we co-host on the 24th of July. And I'm sure you all know Ars Electronica in September in Linz, where we will have a strong focus in programming talks and lectures on New European Bauhaus. The other events then later this year is Vienna Design Week, then DevCamp, which is a game developers conference. And then we are hosting our open days in October in Munich. The date is not defined yet, but I was working already on the content of the event, and we will have a strong focus on audiovisual media and gaming. I think this is also an interesting topic for your consortium, because it's also like topic like XR, VR, AR will be part of it, and also gamification, digitalization in cultural heritage is closely connected to the fields of audiovisual media and gaming. So I want to give you now 2 examples of what we did actually last year, and this is one like an innovation activities we did with our partner Belvedere. So we hosted a workshop for them, or facilitated a workshop for them, and we're working on, the idea was like prioritizing their needs, their challenges, and like the main challenge that we identified, that it's like innovation is just a broad topic in digitalization. So it's like, first of all, it's like understanding AI opportunities in the sector, because it's like, it's a broad discussion currently, but how do we really translate all these opportunities to innovation for them? Topics that we were discussing was like digital transformation of the collections, then also visitor experience. In the part of visitor experience, there were 2 main topics. One was like AI-supported audio guide, and the second was visitor flow management. And the result, like we recommended in several like ways how they can approach it, like from startup scouting to ecosystem mapping, etc. But to be transparent, we didn't proceed because they decided to focus on their AI visitor guide, and they already and had their startup they are working with already at hand. So, but it was like the way of like prioritizing on what should they focus on in the next 2 years was the main goal of this workshop, and this was only done in our region, and is like quite a singular service we provided so far. Then also to give you to mention one startup that was supported, that participated from our region in one of our business creation programs. It's Gaia Culture. They're like want to create a new revenue model for artists, but also for cultural institutions by tokenizing and making like cultural content an investment asset. So this is like quite interesting to look at. Then also a unique approach from our regional hub is the Creative Catalyst, because we received funding from the Austrian ministry to work stronger with the Austrian ecosystem. So we created a program for supporting more young companies in this field. So we created a materials lab where we explore new materials, where we support them to develop innovation pathway in the sector. Then we do it also in creative AI, so where we explore trends and future scenarios and support the ventures to develop new business models. We started this year in the Creative AI Lab. We are doing currently a mapping, so what is happening in Austria. So we are here working behind the scenes a bit on an EIT tool, so we have like an ongoing mapping of the activities in this field. And then we have the academy, where we are running workshops, master classes, mainly for startups. So this is from our side. So I went a bit quicker through it because I think we are quite already late with time. But if you have questions to it, and if you need contacts to one of our partners, please feel free reaching out to me. I'm happy to jump on a call anytime.
Thank you very much, Alexander, as well for introducing some activities. So we've seen a whole band of different activities that the regional hubs are doing. So there are funding opportunities, so grants for SMEs, for startups. There is business support, so where you connect startups and companies with interesting organizations that they want to collaborate with. There are networking events, a lot of also knowledge events to participate in. There are workshops, trainings to develop skills. So a lot of different activities. Great to see that, and that is open for the companies in Europe, as we've seen. Many thanks, Alexander, Angelica, and Fabio. Fabio, I will give the word back to you in case you would like to summarize also from your perspective, what are the concrete opportunities that we've seen.
Thank you very much, Nina. Just saying thank you. Thanks a lot for giving us the opportunity to be here. Thanks, Alexander and Angelica. Resuming, we are working to events, to specific flagship or opportunity at local and regional level. We are contributing actively to spreading the calls that has been dropped and will be published in the next days and weeks. And of course, we are absolutely available and open to answer your questions. And I shared my email here. Please feel free to reach out to us through Nina as well. and feel free. We really invite you to join our ecosystem, basically. The first easy step is just join our digital hub. As I said before, it's free and it's totally open, and you will have the opportunity to get our information, our newsletter, not just about the calls, but also about the project, the events that as you have seen, we are working to several events for the next for the summer and after the summer. So please feel free to join us. We need to be more effective, and to be, because at the end of the day, our last ultimate mission is to be the greatest and the strongest network for cultural and creative innovation in Europe.
Thank you very much, Flavio. Fabio, thanks. Are there any last minute questions from the audience? Anything you would like to ask to the speakers? I've seen also a question. Yes, we will share the slides as well,
Yes.
so that you can look again at all the information that was shared, as well as the recording. So basically on the page where you registered on metaheritage.eu, in the events section, you have a dedicated page to this event, and where we will share the material afterwards, so that you can have a look at it again. And of course, browse all the different opportunities. And thanks for participating in the event today. I don't see any other questions in the chat, so I think a lot of information that needs to be processed. And I think with the material then published, hopefully you will get involved and make use of all the different opportunities that are coming up from the EIT Culture and Creativity. So thanks again for our speakers. And with this, I will close the event today, and hopefully we will see you at the next MetaHeritage webinar, which will already take place this Thursday. Have actually 2 events this week. On Thursday, we are going to talk about investments, so especially looking at private funding opportunities where we have EBA, the European Business Angels Networks, and Mundi Ventures, who's providing a heritage fund for SMEs in the cultural sector to give us presentations. So please go to the MetaHeritage event website if you haven't registered yet for the event on Thursday, and we stay in touch. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a good rest of the day. Goodbye.
Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye-bye.